Om Shanti, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Monday workshop series. As always, every Monday, so we bring a very special guest speaker who have been practicing Rajyogi meditation for decades together. And today we have with us Sister Lakshmi. She is a very incognito Baba's jewel who has been serving in the Michigan area. So one of the main qualities which I want to highlight about Lakshmi Ben is she is Baba's jewel, who is an example of an instrument, right? So I never seen her taking the ownership that, oh, I did this, or even in the conversation I had with her, she was always saying, oh, it is Baba is getting it done. Isn't it magical how things happen? And that is the quality I was really inspired by, right? So in today's session, I want you to pay a couple of things to pay attention to so that we can take the most out of the session is when we go through the tough times, right? As a B case, how do we handle it, right? And try to relate to the situations and the challenges that she is trying to share, but at the same time, try to observe the mindset she was holding on to, right? And please welcome Sister Lakshmi.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure. And I have heard so much about you, brother, as well. Very humble instrument of Baba. And I just want to start with the program with one little snippet that I always enjoy sharing. Baba has 3 types of children. They are one type, they come to Baba, Baba looks at them, they look at Baba. It's a mutual admiration society. They fall in love with each other instantly. We have a brother in Michigan. His name is Paresh Bhai. He was 16 years of age. This is almost 40 some odd years ago. He fell in love with Baba. Baba, he fallen in love with the brother. He's a Kumar. And needless to say, there's still a mutual admiration society between Paresh Bhai and Baba. The second group of children, they come to Baba. Baba sees them. They see Baba. They both say, not now. Baba doesn't say anything. They part company. The third group of children, they come to Baba. Baba sees them. They see Baba. They say, Baba, later. He says, oh, no. Now is the time. And he chases after them. He holds them with his heart. He says, you belong to me. They say no. They try to run away. But what happens is eventually they do see the beauty of God chasing them. And I fall into the third category. Even though I loved God, I didn't realize the value of God until I was found by him. I always enjoyed his company, but at a conditional level. And needless to say, as Harsha was saying, I met Brahma Kumaris in 1988. And that's just after my husband died, a good friend said to me, this group will make you absolutely peaceful. I said to myself, what do I got to lose? So let me go meet with these beautiful people. And I met the beautiful people. They were all in a big retreat, Ipswich, upstate New York retreat. All the dadis were there, Dadi Janki, Dadi Prakashmani, Dadi Gulzar, all the didis were there. Mohini Didi was there, Jayanti Ben, Sharona Ben, Gayatri Ben. And I looked at them, I said, wow, this is wonderful. They all are wearing white, very, very nice. But I don't belong here because they have no problem. They have no problems I have a big problem. So therefore, I decided not to even attend the retreat. I just took off. As I said in the beginning, God wanted me to be with him. So he sent a wonderful sister by the name of Pratibha. She's a physician. She's in Rhode Island. She said to me, you really must take the course, 7-day course with Sharona Ben. Sharona Ben is from, now she's in Israel. She was from Boston at that time. Boston Center was the closest for me. I lived in Rhode Island. So I used to go to the center, Boston Center, with a lot of anger. Why am I doing this? What am I going to achieve from all of this? However, slowly I realized there's something about that individual that's sitting in front of me. She was possessed by love for God, love of God. Whenever she meditated, I used to say, I want to be like her. I want to feel the way she's feeling. But I didn't know how to do that. I had a tough time meditating because of out of anger, out of many reasons. One is meditation, you need to feel. We have a tendency to think in meditation. We just don't know how to feel God. In order to feel God, we have to have that awareness of love. There's a connection between me and my Father. I need to make that happen. But I was so, as I said, I was bitter, angry, so I was blocking it. So Sharona Ben, being Sharona Ben, she gave so many ideas on how to meditate. Absolutely phenomenal sessions that she had with me. Actually, one time she shared something and she said, Lakshmi Ben, do you know what I do after you leave the center? I said, no. She said, I make myself a hot cup of chamomile tea. I sit in front of Baba and I tell him, she's not getting it. She's not getting it. She's not going to get it. But for some reason or other, she persisted. Her perseverance paid off. And the ideas that she had given me is, the very first idea she gave me was dance with God. I love to dance. I'm from South India. We don't know how to dance unless we are on a stage by ourselves, solo dance. But this is a dance with God. How do you do that? And I said to myself, I need to make this happen. So I gave myself some time. I said, for 45 minutes, I'm going to dance with God, regardless. What I did was a phenomenal process. I followed what Sharona Ben had taught me. She said, invite your Father, invite your beloved, let him hold you in his arms. Let the music, his love, be your music. Dance in his footsteps. When the coach was teaching me how to dance with God, the partner was absolutely phenomenal. Fantastic combination. A child and the father danced away for 45 minutes. That's when I realized meditation is nothing more than making a connection that is absolutely intense and intimate with God. And the second thing that she taught me was go shopping whenever you feel that you're not able to meditate. I said, what do you mean go shopping? She said, when you go shopping, you make a list of things you want to buy, and then go holding God's hand. Let him show you how to shop. And sure enough, when I said to God, Baba, I want to go shopping with you. He said, of course. My shop is open. let's go shopping. He said, what do you need? So I start to give him my list. I said, I need the peace the most. But let's go look for it. Sure enough, the more I took it, the more I'm able to realize it's there for me to take, free of charge. At the end of the shopping expedition, I was absolutely content with all sorts of things that I wanted to get from God. And at the checkout, I said, how much do I owe you? Baba says, this shop is open 24/7 and it's free of charge. Come anytime. You have the key to open the shop. With those kind of meditative experiences, I became very close to God. But I still had my moments. The very first time I went to Harmony House to meet Dadi Janki. I was kind of tired, and Sharona Ben made sure that I sat in the Harmony House. It's a church type of setup. In the first pew, she made sure that I was sitting right in front of the Gadi, because Dadi Janki was going to be there. And I, Lakshmi, needed to meet with Dadi Janki. That's her wish. So I said, okay, I'll sit as you wish. He's a very obedient student of Sharona Ben. I sat in front of right across from the Gadi. And sure enough, I fall asleep. My goodness. And all of a sudden, I felt a little bit of movement next to me. And someone was sitting next to me. And after my snooze was done, the person got up and left to get on the Gadi. That was Dadi Janki. If looks could kill, I would have been dead at that moment, because Sharona Ben was so annoyed. Afterwards, she said, do you know, you had the most wonderful opportunity to take the vibrational feelings from Dadi Janki. You fell asleep. I said, I'm so sorry. I didn't even realize the value of Dadi Janki at that time. So that's kind of an arrogance. It's going to happen, but I was not making the effort to make it happen. But through Sharona Ben's guidance and love, nurturing, I did become what I wanted to become, a meditator. And that's the beginning of the story. That's, to me, it's a honeymoon stage. And some of the things that I went through, I realized how protective God was, Baba was for me in my life. I was working as an administrator in a nursing home. I went to work Saturday morning, and we had a dress code. So I was wearing my not casual, dress out according to the nursing home's policies. Here comes the administrator, my boss comes. She was wearing jeans and very casual outfit. And I looked at her and I said, by the time I became a Pakabiki, I said, it's none of your business. Whatever she does, let her do it. No questions asked. Halfway through I was doing charting, legal charting. She comes to me and she says, I need to speak to you. I said, of course. And I finished whatever I needed to do, my work, going to her office. At that point in time, I realized something is fundamentally wrong with the vibrations in that room. I could feel it. And all of a sudden, I said to Baba, you hold my hand. There's something wrong. I don't like the way I feel right now. I want to feel like a lady. I want to be dignified. Be with me. Hold my hand. And I was asked to sit in a chair. Right next to that chair was another empty chair. I visualized Baba sitting in that chair. I held his hand, his invisible hand, with lots and lots of determination, lots of love. You stay with me. Stay connected to me. And sure enough, as I sat there with absolutely in a meditative mode, the administrator started to say, I'm giving you an ultimatum. Either you resign right now or I will fire you. And I held Baba's hand a little tighter and I said to myself, whatever you say, make it very clear. Don't confuse yourself. Don't confuse the administrator. I said, on what grounds are you firing me? She said, lack of communication skills. I have a master's degree from this country and I speak fairly eloquent in English. I'm pretty good. So I was kind of surprised at her statement. But then she goes on to say that my weaknesses, my shortcomings, and so on and so forth. That's when I said to myself, I need to stop her tirade. I need to put my foot down and say to her, enough's enough. I will resign, but I'm going to send a resignation tomorrow. Right now, I want to leave because I have heard enough. I don't know where that energy had come. I was so calm, so collective, so focused. And as soon as I said that, I got up, left to go to my office, which was in the 3rd floor, not realizing that the administrator was right behind me, walking with few steps away from me, behind me. I go into my office and she says, nice to see you being so calm. I said, thank you so much. And then she said, I want you to hand everything that belongs to the nursing home. I said, no problem. And she said, take only your stuff. I said, no problem. I was absolutely careful in how I was behaving at that time. And I love plants. I really adore plants. My office was full of plants, beautiful plants, flowering plants. And she looks at me and she says, are you going to take all of this? I said, no, Patricia, they're my gift to you. She was surprised. She thought I would say, yes, someone will come and take everything away from here. I didn't say any of that. I said, their gift. She was really surprised. As I handed all the keys and everything of the nursing home to her, walked out. Once I got into the car, I realized what had happened. I said, oh my God, here I am without a job, but what am I going to do next? The next step, again, Baba gave me a beautiful energy. Of course, with the help of friends, I sued the nursing home. Of course, I won the case. Because of the confidentiality agreement, I cannot share what had happened between me and the nursing home. But I settled out of court. That's the reason, time I realized how much God protected me from my own negativity. I was shaking. Once I got in the car, I was really shaking. Before that, I was totally focused. That's when I realized faith in God helped me become absolutely dignified. What I wanted to achieve, I achieved with the power of Baba's love. Second time I realized how much God protects me was when I had 2 different types of cancer back to back. And Sharona being absolutely a big support at that point in time. The whole Boston family, they helped me through my therapies and what have you. But the biggest therapist was my father. Day in and day out, when people came to me, I was consoling them. In spite of all the therapists that I was going through, they were really surprised. They said, "How can you do this?" I said, "Love karma. I'm paying off my debts to this body. I'm so happy I'm given the opportunity to settle the accounts with this body when I can." So that is the kind of faith that I instilled because of the meditation, the power of meditation. The techniques, they, to me, need to be very creative. I'm talking about meditation. When you sit in meditation, make it so absolutely creative. There's no room for thinking, the only room for feeling. And I was taught by Sharona Ben, you can go shopping with God, you can go shopping for God. You can have a picnic with God. And I want to share that experience. How can you have picnic with God? It's a very intriguing concept. I don't know how many of you know Sharona Ben. She's very creative in her meditative commentaries. When you go on this picnic planning with God, Baba says, who do you want to invite for the picnic? You make a list of people, of things, the virtues and the specialities that you want to invite for the picnic. For me, inviting happiness, inviting peace, inviting joy, inviting most of all the contentment to the picnic. But enjoying each one's company, taking time, making time, but making sure God is there guiding me in the picnic. Absolute happiness. There's a very intriguing meditation that I do when I'm by myself, that using the alphabet. You can write the information down, or you can create as you go along. As you can see, at my age, I need to write myself notes. I'm 77, so I do forget things. So I thought I'll write myself a few notes to read them in a meditative mode. With the help of meditation, this soul has become very close to Baba. The awareness of being a soul has become my attitude. Start believing in myself. Benevolent Father bestowing his blessings on this soul. This soul enjoys the connection that is absolutely intimate and very personal with God Almighty. Because of His love, I become very clear and also absolutely clean. The divine love from the divinity Himself, I become divine in my samskaras. Meditation empowers me, makes me enjoy my life 24/7. Faith in God is the number one thing that adds to this life. Faith in the Father, faith in the Self, faith in my life. God is gracious. God is genuinely interested in my life. I become very happy. I also enjoy my own sense of humor. I also have become very humble, very independent, joyful, kind, loving, merciful, nice, optimistic, positive, quick-witted, relaxed, full of self-respect, tolerant of the self and others, unconditional in everything that I do for God. I become victorious. Most of all, I become wonderful in the company of my Father, the ocean of wonder. More zeal and enthusiasm, more than ever, but most of all, I enjoy my company 24/7. Om Shanti.
Thank you.
Some of the things that I want to share, they're somewhat humorous. When I was growing up, I'm from South India. I come from a very traditional Brahmin family, Lokik Brahmin family, and very, very orthodox. Girls don't step out of the house until they have a chaperone. So my mom always used to tell me, make sure you represent, remember who you are representing. You're representing the family, our family. I said, okay, why not? Do what you want me to do. So at the age of 19, when I got married, she comes to me and she says, now you're representing two families. I said, oh my goodness, it's getting more heavy. I said, okay, I'll do my best. But soon after I got married, I left for US. So I didn't have to represent anyone. That was the end of representation. Because I was 19 and I lived in North Carolina. There were no Indians who knew who I was, let alone who my parents were or who my in-laws were. That was a saving grace. 1988, actually 89, Sharona Bench said to me, do you know what you need to do now? I said, oh, here it comes. And she says, do you know you're representing God? I said, I thought I'm done with all the representation. Here I am, back to square one. But this is a representation that I enjoy doing. Because I always remember what Dadi Janki said to all of us. Be the walking, talking billboard of Baba. You don't need to say anything. With your vibrations, they will realize how extraordinary you are, how wonderfully in love with you are with Baba, with God. Very easy thing to do. When you have that intimate, intense connection to God, it's automatic. So representation still continues, but in a very humble way, realizing I'm on the stage along with God, not by myself. And He's guiding me. He's not watching me, He's watching over me. He's my constant companion. He's very caring, He's very loving, but most of all, He reminds me to respect myself, have the confidence that you are a child of God. That's kind of representation is very easy to do because that's exactly each Murli teaches us. Be the best you can be. Harsha Bhai was asking me what are some of the challenges you faced as a Brahma Kumari. It happened 2 years ago, along with many of us who went through COVID. The center had to shut down for almost a year and a half. No one came to the center. Just prior to the COVID, we had floods in Michigan. Now we live in our center is in a basement. So the basement was flooded. So we had to literally demolish many things and put many things in, like new carpet, new this, new that. Along with the COVID, we are dealing with this mass reconstruction of the center. The challenging part was because of the COVID, nobody was able to come to the center to help the cleanup. And it fell on this 70-some-odd-year-old lady. And I used to wonder why this is happening. Then I realized this is what it is all about. It's not about sitting on the gadi giving lectures. When no one is looking, what you do matters. It was very tiring and trying period for me. And because of the COVID, no one was coming to the center, so there was no one to talk to. And one more thing that I want to add in this whole scenario, I run a center in Michigan. I'm aware of that. However, 99% of the family is Hindi speaking. And I am non-Hindi speaking Telugu person. That in itself caused many issues. But one time Ram Prakash Pai, maybe all of you know who he is. He lives in right now Peace Village. He said to me, Lakshmi Ben, Yes, you don't speak Hindi, but you're chosen by God. There must be a reason. And also he said, the reason is, I said, brother, I don't find any reason at this point in time. A lot of frustration is coming because someone who is much younger, not only in knowledge, but also age-wise, sitting on the gadi reading the Murlis, it's a little difficult to take it at that point in time. They said, think, if you speak the language, there would be issues, there would be conflicts. Since they don't know what you're saying, you don't know what they're saying, all is well. So enjoy the process, enjoy the drama. So that's one of the challenges. I still, once in a while, do feel kind of left out because in my own center, I'm sitting on the sidelines and someone else is running the show. They're very gracious about it. They are very respectful of who I am, but still the ego once in a while comes up and say, why not? How come? And I realize, how come, why not is what you should not be asking. It is the way it is. Move on. Because of that, as Harsha by saying, I'm very creative. I'm kind of artistic. I write poetry and also I'm a painter. I don't know if you can see the behind me. It's all done in crystals, Swarovski crystals. And it's designed by, of course, there's a team we have in Michigan. We have done many artistic projects that caught the eye of Mohini Didi. What we had done for Peace Village 20th anniversary, we created a painting for Mohini Didi. All the 50 state flowers were painted, hand painted, given as a bouquet in a basket. They're all painted, hand painted. It was absolutely beautiful. We made blessing cards along with that. So what I'm trying to say is, because of me not doing much of this Gadi business, I do other things that I really enjoy doing. I do children's program that I enjoy doing. But most of all, I make sure that I have fun. And I'm on the process of learning how to be more creative. Actually, myself and the young lady by the name of Monica Ben from Peace Village, we are creating a book for traffic control songs. They already translated from Hindi to English. And she's an artist. She's going to do the graphics. And we're going to do the designing of the pamphlet, send it to all the double foreign children of Baba in the Yagya. That's going to be happening the 1st of January. Sorry, it's already in the making. We got the background from Chandrika Ben from Ahmedabad. Who started traffic control songs and why they came about, so on and so forth. So that is a project that I've started. And I have an amazing team in Michigan to make me enjoy my seva. And they are just amazing family. One of them actually sitting here because for us, it's very late in the nighttime and our complex is somewhat isolated. It's a very safe area, but he came as to protect his big sister. I really thank Banki Bai for being in the audience. So that is the gist of what I wanted to say. Life is absolutely wonderful. You are what you think, so think with Baba and everything is gorgeous. Harsha Bhai, I don't know what else you want me to say, but that's what I wanted to say to you. And,
So Lakshmi, a couple of questions around your personal experience, and definitely you have seen a lot. You had to go through the physical challenges. You have to go through the relationships because the your partner left the body, and you have to face the challenges, not just financially. Also, you have to face the challenges, and and it is not in the times when, like now, it is in early 80s, and it was not same as 2000s or 2020. It is different days, and then how women were treated, what kind of rights they had, and voice they had in the corporate world. It is not the same, and in those, at that time, definitely Baba helps us to compose ourselves, but and acting on what Baba's signal is, right? One thing is recognizing the signals, and then the second part is like acting on to that. And acting part is where needs a lot of guts, a lot of courage to step up and then follow through. And then that's where faith comes into picture, that okay, Baba is there and I'm going to follow through what is the right thing. And that is a true test, right? So yeah, you want to elaborate?
It is just when you truly have the faith, 100% unwavering faith, the discipline is already there, automatically happens. And also the determination happens. And also there's sometimes people do remind me, how can you act like that? You're telling us you're a Brahma Kumari. So there are reminders from other people that pick up on whatever they see that needs to be recognized, need to be fixed, need to work on. One time I will never forget, I moved to Michigan to be closer to my Lokik son. He has 2 children. They're now in their 20s. And one of them was very young. They were maybe 3 or 4 years of age at that time. One time I was kind of distraught. I was really feeling isolated and lonely because I had a big satsang in Rhode Island. A lot of people used to come to my Baba's Gita Padashala. I used to feel isolated. I felt very lonely. There was no one in Michigan that I could relate to because I didn't know at that time any of the Brahmins in Michigan. And this young child, I was told by my son, please don't teach them Brahma Kumari's philosophy. I don't want to have anything to do with that philosophy. I said, no problem. I'm here to do that. My duty as a grandmother, as a mother, I have no intention of changing anyone's lifestyle. But this kid comes to me and she rubs my hand and shoulder and she says, Nainama, that means endearment for grandma. Om Shanti. The way she said it was just amazing, amazing transformation in my life because I never said anything to her. She must have heard it when I was talking on the phone with someone from Rhode Island. So Baba do send people to make us stable, to make us realize you're deviating from the path, you're digressing from the path. Stay connected to me. And when I moved to Michigan, I wanted the Murlis. And when I called the Boston Center, they said you no longer belong to our center. You need to call Mohini Ben. Of course, I called Mohini Ben. Mohini Ben says, talk to Dolly Ben. I called Dolly Ben and I said to Dolly Ben, this is the arrogance that I have 20 some odd years ago. And I said, Dolly Ben, I'll send you $300. Please send me Murlis. She said, you're going to send me $300 for the Murlis? I said, that's what someone said. I need to make sure that you get the money so I can get the murlis. She said, Lakshmi Ben, you have the wrong attitude. If you want the murlis, talk to Mohini Ben. If she says, okay, we'll send you the murlis. The lesson in it's a very awakening, it's a rude awakening. And then I called Mohini Ben, she said, no problem, get the murlis. I was expecting old murlis to come in a package because that was the deal at that time. No person or persons were given fresh murlis of the day ever. You have to go to the center, pick them up. But there's no center in Michigan, so there was nothing I could do. But anyway, when the package arrived, I was totally flabbergasted. They were murlis of the day, the whole week. I felt so rich, so happy. I thought I died and gone to Murli heaven. It was wonderful, wonderful feeling. And one more thing that happened to me in Michigan, I said to Baba, I have you, I have the murlis, now I want family. I didn't know how to take that step to make family happen. Again, Baba, the Kalaben calls and she says, there's a person by the name of Bankim, call him. She had no idea about the Bankim's last name, where he lives, what have you. Finally, we found Bankim. He's sitting in the audience right now. Needless to say, his mother, Induben, was a Pakka BK. It still is a Pakka BK. Through that, we made the connection. Now we have a large number of Baba's family in Michigan. So my wish had come true, my bucket list. I have many other lists on my bucket list, but that was one of the lists that I wanted to fulfill. To have a family, not to do anything for them, but to be with them. And here we are, we have a beautiful center, a beautiful family, and we're doing very well. There are many, many stories I can share. I used to challenge God. Whenever I felt lonely, lonesome, isolated from Rhode Island family, Boston family, I would walk into Baba's room in my own home, in my condo, and say, today, you're not getting the bhog because I don't like what's happening. No bhog. When I shared this with Dolly, then she said, did you really say that? I said, yes. She said, what made you do that? I said, because he's not helping me. She said, are you willing to take the help from him? You're only asking, but are you listening to what he's telling you to do? Of course not. So begin to listen to Baba more and more. One of the things that really changed my way of thinking is about Baba. I went to Madhuban after Dadi Prakash Mani left the body. She was one of my favorite dadis. Favorite dadis. I wanted to be like her when I grew up. When she died, when I went to Madhuban, I said to myself, this is not where I want to be. I'm feeling very lonesome, isolated, this and that. Then I made a bargain with Baba. I said, you're there for me. Now I want to make a pact with you. Find me another Dadi to replace Dadi Prakash Mani. I don't know what that arrogance, whatever you want to call it. And I saw Ratan Mohini Dadi giving gifts to all the double foreign family. Again, I made a pact with Baba. I said, if she gives me longer drishti, if she gives me a sari, she'll be my Dadi. This is the kind of bargaining I was making with Baba. Until then, she was giving shawls to everyone. But I said to Baba, she has to give me a sari. She has to also give me a long drishti. Magic. Dadi Ratan Mohini stopped everything. She gives me the longest drishti, and she looks at me, Sari? I said, yes. And she became my dadi. It is amazing. All the wishes, all the desires, all the things that I needed are fulfilled by my father, my Baba. It's an amazing journey. Of course, there are many, many things that did go wrong, but there are many things that went right. If it's not for Baba and Baba's family, I'll be sitting somewhere in a mental asylum with a rubber jacket because I was absolutely stark crazy when my husband died. One humorous thing is when I became a BK, when I was not really a Pakka BK, I used to think I'm a BK. I had a big altar in my home. It's a very beautifully decorated glass altar. On one side, Shiv Baba, Brahma Baba's picture. On one side, all the idols, Krishna, Vishnu, everyone is on one side. It's segregated society. I would sit on one side and meditate. Move to the other side and do prayer, chanting, singing. One time my sister was watching this whole drama and she said, you know what? You're making me dizzy. Either you stay on one side or stay on the other side. Don't do that. You're probably also driving yourself crazy. Decide once and for all. If you want to be a BK, if you want to be a Brahmin, Brahma Kumari, if you want to stay as with your traditional way of life. Needless to say, I chose Baba, Shiv Baba, Brahma Baba, Dadis, all the family. And it's a magical moment, magical moment. I don't miss my old life. I'm excited about my new life, new adventure, new path, new beginnings, new way of doing everything.
Step further and further. Right.
One more thing that I want to share is when I first
so
went to Madhuban, the very first time, Sharona Ben took me. I was her pride pupil. I don't know why she had that thought, but she said, I want you to come with me. I said, no problem. I went there with a lot of open mind. I said, I need to really see what it is all about. That's my first time to Madhuban. And after Baba's Milan, I started to cry. The very next day I said to Sharona Ben, I'm leaving Brahma Kumaris. They are not for me. I don't want to wear white clothes. I have had it. This and that. I was crying and crying. And she said, what happened? She said, didn't you see? She said, why did you come to Madhuban? I said, I came to Madhuban to meet Baba. She said, did you meet him? I said, of course. In those days, Baba used to walk around in the audience. I had my doubts that I think I was really kind of confused. How can he come in only one person's body, so on and so forth. Still in the initial stages of my beginning of blossoming into Brahma Kumari. But the minute BapDada looked into my eyes, I said, this is it. It's like laser that hit my eyes. I said, oh my God, it is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I shared that with Sharona Ben. I said, yes, I met Baba. He was just handsome, gorgeous, just like the way I envisioned him to be. And she said, then what is your problem? Why do you want to leave? I said, you know, I'm seeing people on the stage, all these seniors. The Baba was on the Gadi, BapDada was on the Gadi. They were talking, they were joking, they were eating. I said, how can they do that? How can they be so casual about something so beautiful that's happening? She listened to me, my crying and my wiping my tears and blowing my nose, all of that. And she said, because it's their drama. What is your drama? Why did you go there? Why are you in the audience? Are you for them? Or are you for Baba? That really grounded me. I realized I didn't go to see all the whomsoever is on the gadi to act however they are acting. My focus should have been with BapDada. That was a beautiful lesson I learned from Sharona Ben. It doesn't matter who's doing what. What is it you're supposed to do that is right by Baba? Not right by you, right by Baba. So these are the little things that she enlightened me with, ideas, yuktis, to make me a better human being. Actually, she always used to say to me, as soon as I finished the 7-day, I don't think she ever did the 7-day course with me because I used to exhaust her because I used to talk to her about how come, why not, and she used to say, you have more questions than answers. You're not listening. Eventually, I start to listen. But the point I want to share is when you start to question, then more questions come up. And she, being a very caring teacher, she saw something in me. Actually, some of the Yagyas saw something in me that I was not willing to see. I was unable to see. When I moved to Michigan, they asked me to be the coordinator for state of Michigan. I said, no way I want to do that because I'm not qualified. They kept asking, this is Wadi Ben, Kala Ben, Sharona Ben, Mohini Ben. What makes you think that you're not qualified? Because I know that I'm not qualified. So they said, you decided for yourself you're not qualified. I said, of course. I dragged my feet for 3-4 years. And after that, I sat with Baba. I said, what is this with this wonderful family whom I adore very much? Why are they forcing me to do something that I'm not capable of? And I sat with Baba and I said, give me an answer. I need an answer because I don't like the way I feel when I'm saying no to them constantly. The answer was a profound feeling. You're worried about the seva. Seva is nothing more than be who you are to the true self. That is seva. It doesn't matter the title, it doesn't matter the role. What am I doing for God? Now, so it was a very wonderful feeling. I am asking you, but they're instruments in making sure that job is done by someone qualified. When God is telling me that I'm qualified, when Yagya is telling me that I'm qualified, who am I to challenge? Who am I to say no? So it is the day I called, of course, the family. They said, oh, Vadiben said, it's about time. We waited 5 years for this. Welcome to the family. It's like a lot of soul searching went into before I stepped up to do whatever I'm doing. Because to me, it's a calling from God. He needs me. Of course, I need him, but he needs me to do his seva, to glorify him. How can I glorify him? By being very humble, saying ha to everything that seniors ask me to do, also ha to everything Baba is asking me to do. Lately, he's giving us all self-respect points to make sure that we become more and more close to him. The last Murli on the 10th of October, the homework was take self-respect points, define what they are, and use them every day. And I do that every day. I take one point. I say to myself, this is what I am today, all day long. It's enriching experience, enlightening experience, most of all, educating experience. I love what I do, I love my life, but most of all, I love my Baba. I miss Madhuban very much. I went there 2 years ago. I'm wanting to do, but I'm waiting for the Yagya to say, yeah, go ahead and you can go to Madhuban. To me, going to Madhuban is really a treat. I go there with, initially I used to go with expectation. I want this to happen. I want to see this change happen, so on and so forth. Now when I go, no expectation. Just to give you an example, initially when I used to go there, I used to say I want to stay only in Gyan Sarovar because it's to me it's cleaner than Pandav Bhavan. That's my perception. And I want to stay in one part of Gyan Sarovar. Shashiban was very accommodating. She said, wherever you want, we'll do that. But now, just a couple of years ago when I went, they asked me, where would you like to stay? I say, it doesn't matter. It's an amazing transformation on myself. To me, wherever I am, in any building of Madhuban, I am with Baba, Baba's family. And another thing that I really realized is I had a lot of issues at one point in time with Indian children of Baba. That sounds, it's not condescending statement by any means. I had trouble relating to them for whatever reason, because I left India a long time ago. I used to have trouble relating to Indian children of Baba, Bharatvasis. 3-4 years ago, there was Shivratri time. We were always told not to come to Shivratri time, double foreigners. We're always told don't come because lots of Bharatvasis there. I don't know what happened. I think it was a CC meeting at that same time, coordinators meeting. So I had to be there. I was sitting in front of the Diamond Hall. Many children of Baba were coming out of the room, of that big hall. All of a sudden it dawned on me, look at this beauty. They're all happy. They're so happy. Some of them don't even have shoes on their feet. Some people must have saved all their monies toward the entire year to come to Baba, to see Baba. And it somehow, all of a sudden I realized, how dare you become so judgmental? They're so happy. Are you sharing in their happiness? Are you celebrating their happiness? Why are you so busy judging them? So these are the things that happen and happens in Madhuban. Slow transformation. You realize you're one among many people. The very first time Brother Anthony went to Madhuban, Brother Anthony, who left the body recently, he said to himself, oh my God, there are too many people. I don't want to share Baba with this many people. I feel I want to run away. I don't know what he said to himself, but he said, this is not what I want. But slowly he realized we are the family of one Baba. Things like this happen, but the transformation happens at the right time. You cannot force it. And for me, being with Sevadharis, I used to go do Amritvela with the Sevadharis because to me they're absolutely intense with their Amritvela. And I wanted to be in that ambience, in that vibration. And I also used to not go to seniors classes because I used to think, yes, they're wonderful teachers, they share beautiful knowledge, but I want to be with people that are doing seva, true seva. I'll go to the laundry area, watch these brothers iron the clothes for hours on end with one thought, Baba, they're doing Baba's task. No lecturer taught me anything other than what they were doing. Absolute teaching moment, learning moment. So Madhuban has many things that it gives you. And the most thing that I enjoy about Madhuban is cleanliness. Thousands and thousands of people come. It is always clean, always organized. Of course, it gets a little noisy, but it is absolutely wonder-filled Baba's home. Some people with so many samskaras come, but somehow it's all amalgamated. It all becomes, it blends. You see the beauty of Brahmins. Caring Brahmins, they go out of their way to help you. So to me, Madhuban is where you practice what you're learning, what you need to learn, and most of all, to me, it's a lab, a living lab for all of us. Enjoy the 4th Milan. It's going to be phenomenal Milan. Baba is going to give us more ideas on how to become Bab Saman. This Yagya started with one thought, one God, one family, one kingdom. Let me make sure my energy is dedicated for that. Let me share my love for the Yagya. Yagya is all of us, not an entity. Every single individual contributes to the Yagya. We are the Yagya. Let me respect that. Let me cherish that. I am doing God's work along with the people, the souls who belong to God. They're dedicated, determined to make the Yagya unified. I am part of the Yagya. Let me make sure I stay connected to the Yagya with everything that I do. All I have, all I want, all I need comes from one source, the owner of the Yagya. He's the mastermind, making beautiful things happen for all his beautiful children. My benevolent Father, the owner of the Yagya, is here in front of me. I need nothing. I want nothing. I desire nothing except to be in front of my Father. The creator of the Yagya. I am the creation. Let me tend to that creation along with other creators. Om Shanti.